Okay, this is the fourth series of lectures in the client-server architecture lectures, and today I will start talking about an example. We will call it the echo server. An echo server is simply you have two processes. One is called the client and one is the server. The client sends a message to the server and the server will respond with the same message. So this is called echo. For example, let me just show what I mean by that. Assume this is my client and this is my server. Okay, call this client, call this my server, very simple. And the client will send a message. The message, let's say, send a message to this guy. He's calling hello, and the server will respond with the same message. That's what we call an echo. All right, so this is called a client server. So basically this is what a client server would look like. The client will send a message to the server, say hello. The server responds with hello. The client sends my name is Mohammad. The server will say okay, also respond with my name is Mohammad, and so on. Now this is how the overall client server echo server looks like. Let me try now to rewrite this in a bit more technical in terms of the sockets that we learn. We talked about the socket as a means of communication. Let me take this. This is my client. Let me put the word client in fact on top of that so I don't interfere with the client. This is my client. Okay, and I will do it this way, and I will have my server. So this is my server now, the same thing, and I will call this a server. So this is my server. Now, as I said, the communication between client and the server will go through sockets. So we will try to understand the notion of sockets now in terms of the examples. Now, for the client to communicate with the server, both need sockets. So we already talked about that. So let me do the socket and let me put it in a circular fashion. This is my socket right here. I will call it client socket. Now client socket, CS means client socket, and I will have a server socket right here. So of course server socket. So I have a socket here, I have a socket there. Now for the client to be able to send to the server, I need one more thing. I need to write into the socket. So the client will have an entity here called out, meaning that I need to put something out from the client into the socket. Okay, so let me make this as thick as possible so we can see it. Put it shapes, wait. Okay, so from the client will put something out into the socket. Now the socket will, I will write into the socket the word hello, which I did right here. So this is my hello. I'll put it into the socket by from the out, and I will send a communication link. Now in a second I will show that this link here which I did, there is yet another layer below that which is called the TCP layer. So now, although I have this communication going from the client into the server, so I'm sending the word hello, so it goes from here and over this link going to the server hello. Now in the server, the word hello goes to the socket of the server, and the socket will have a port number called, let's say 2222 for 2222, or whatever that port number. I will I will talk about that later, but for now I will say, so this word hello goes into the socket. Now let me take this guy here and copy it into the server, but here I will call this N. So it is coming from the server socket. It's being read by this guy, and let me move it so this can be visible. All right, so now this word hello comes from the client into the server socket, into the client socket, from the client socket over this link, could be wireless, could be wired, goes into the what is this here? It should be goes into the server socket, from the server socket being read into a variable called N. Now from N there is yet one more, so that we will do the echo. We said we need for this to go into an echo. Let me show this way. Okay, and I will make this a little bit thick, and I will make it black so I could see it. All right, so from the N out, it's the word hello. Let's trace this hello. Okay, take this hello. It went out from the socket into the variable N. It also, I will take it from the variable into the variable out. Or this should be out here, by the way. All right, and again I will have this link going from the out into the socket again. So this hello, note how this hello is coming back here, and now from this socket right here goes into the socket right here, and make this shape a little bit thick, and this hello is traveling here to the socket and going from, let me do this. This is the N, which means coming from the socket. Now note that this hello has come from the server socket into the client socket, and now let me take it one step further. So this hello now is coming into this N. So note, let me number these things one by one. I will call this number 1. This is 1, step number 1. I put the step number 1, I put the hello into this the client socket. Step number 2, the hello goes over from the client socket to the server socket. Step number 3, it's right here.